Hi students, welcome back to the video lecture on Python programming language. So we are discussing the problem solving aspect. We have already two video lecture on flowchart. So today's class also we are going to draw the flowchart for finding out the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So our problem is to find out the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So what is that Fibonacci series? Let's see the logic of Fibonacci series, how we are going to find the Fibonacci series. Suppose we are starting the series from 1. So the first two terms are 1. You can start the series from 0. If you will start the series from 0, then the first two terms will be 0 and 1. The next term is what? The next term is 2. Here the next term is 1. How we are finding these 2 and 1? We are adding two previous term, 1 plus 1, then we will get the next term, that is 2. If we will start the series from 0, then 0 plus 1, the next term is 1. So this one is valid and this one is also valid. This is your choice. You can start the series from 0 and you can also start the series from 1. So today's class we are going to start the Fibonacci series from 1. So the first two terms, these are the two terms. The first two terms, they are fixed. The first two terms are 1 and 1. The next term is what? 1 plus 1, that is 2. The next term will be the summation of previous two terms, that means 1 plus 2, that is 3. The next term will be 2 plus 3, that is 5. 5 plus 3, that is 8. 8 plus 5, that is 13. 13 plus 8, that is 21, like this. So this is the Fibonacci series and we have to find out the Fibonacci series up to the nth term. Suppose this is our nth term. So what actually we are doing? Suppose we want the term n. The nth term we want to find. So how we will get the nth term? That we can get by adding the n minus 1 term plus the n minus 2 term. Suppose this is our nth term, then this one is the n minus 1 term and this one is the n minus 2 term. So we will add these two terms, then what we will get? We will get the nth term. So how can represent the Fibonacci series? Suppose this one is fixed, this one is also fixed. Then for 2 we can write here 1 plus 1. So what is this 1 plus 1? That means this term plus this term. The previous two terms will get added and we will find the next term. Like that, suppose for 3 we can write here 1 plus 2. So what is actually this one and this one? So what is this? This one is 2. 1 plus 2, then we will find here 3. Next for 5 we will add this one and this one. So 2 plus 3. Here is the 5. 2 plus 3 will get added and we will find 5. Like this we can find 8 as 3 plus 5. 3 plus 5, here is the 5 and here is the 8. By continuing this, by adding two previous term, we will get the next term. So we have to find out the nth term. So for that we should have a control variable, that is the counting variable that will count how much Fibonacci series we have. When we will get the nth term, then that time we have to stop there. So let's write the algorithm first, then we will go for drawing the flowchart for the Fibonacci series. So before writing the algorithm, let's see how we can represent the Fibonacci series. Suppose this term is x, this one is y. So these two terms are fixed. So x value is what? 1. Y value is what? 1. Next we have to find out the third term. Suppose that is g. So how we can get that g value? That can be added the previous two terms. That means x and y will get added. So z equals to x plus y. So here we will get what? 2. Then for finding 3, we need to add 1 and 2. That means the x value should be updated and the y value should be updated. So how we can update the x, y and z value? So here we want to move this, suppose this one is x, this one is y and this one is z. After finding this value, we will move to here. That means the x will move to, here and the y variable will move to here, then g will move to here. So what actually we are doing? We are putting the z value into y so that y can move to here, and the y value into x so that x can move to here. So what we are doing? We are putting the y value into x, then z value into y. Next we will again find z equals to x plus y. So by putting the y value into x, what is y value now? The y value is what? 1. So here the x will be 1. And the y value is what? The g value is putting into y. So what is the g value? That is 2. So 2 will be held by now y. So y will be what? Y will be 2. Now the z is what? X plus y. So z is 1 plus 2, that is 3. Next again we have to move the x, y and z. So what will be the x now? Now the y is what? 2. So 2 will be added into x. So x value will be 2. Y value will be what? The g value will be moved into y. So g value is what? 3. So y will be 3 and the z will be 5. So first we get 2, then the g value is 3, then the z value is 5. 2, 3, 5. Like that, if we move the y value into x and the z value into y, then what we will get? We will get from here the x value equals to what? Now the y value will move to the x. So 3 will move to x. Y value will be what? Z value will be moved to y. Then y value is what? 5. Next g is what? 3 plus 5, that is 8. So like this we can find the nth term of Fibonacci series. We have the fixed value, that is x and y, as 1. We have to find the z value by adding the x and y value. After finding the z value, then we have to move the y value into x and z value into y. Then again we have to add the x and y value to find out the z value. So let's write the algorithm for this. So what is the step 1? The step 1 should be start. Then step 2. So step 2 is we need to input the n value. What is the nth term? How many terms we are going to print as the Fibonacci series? That we need to ask the user. What is the value for n? So in the step 2, we will ask the user input value for n. Next, in the step 3, we have to set those x, y value. So we have to set x equals to what? 1, y equals to what? 1. And another counting variable that will control the loop, that should be get initialized. Suppose that is I, and it will be initialized with 0. As we have not printed any Fibonacci series, that means the count variable, that looping control variable I, is set to be 0. Next, in the step 4, we have to check either that I value is less than equals to n or not. We have to print the Fibonacci series up to nth term. We have not printed any number, that's why the I value is initialized with 0. After printing one number, the I value will get incremented, and we have to check either that looping variable is less than equals to that nth term or not. That means we are checking either we are in that range, that means we should print the Fibonacci series, or we should stop there. So here we need to check a condition, that is I is less than equals to n? Here is the question mark. Then if true, that means I is in our range, then we need to print the Fibonacci series. If true, then go to step 5. Else go to V step, the stop. So we will mention it later. Then in the step 5, what we need to print the first Fibonacci series, that is what? 1. The x value is 1. So we can write here print x. Then in the step 6, after printing the x value, then what we are going for? We will add the x and y value, and we will put this x and y value into z. So z equals to x plus y. And here after adding the x and y value and putting the value into z, then we need to move the xy. That means the y value will move into x, the z value will move into y. So here you can write it in another step, and also you can write it in the same step. So what? X will be y and y will be z. Next, step 7. I equals to I plus 1. The I value will get incremented, and we need to check the condition is I is less than equals to n or not, that is again. So we need to go back to here. So you can write here, go to step 4. Then step 8 is our stop. So here we can mention step 8. So let's see, is this algorithm is working or not. Suppose we need to print the Fibonacci series up to 7th term. So here the n value is what? 7. Input the value for n, and now the n value is what? 7. So set x equals to 1, y equals to 1, I equals to 0. So what is the x now? 1, y equals to what? 1, and I value equals to 0. 0 is less than 7. True or false? True. Then we will go to step 5, print x. So what will be printed? The x value will get printed. So what is the x value? That is 1. So here the 1 will get printed. 1. Next, the z value is what? X plus y. So here the z value is what? X plus y, that is 1 plus 1, that is 2. Then x equals to what? Y. So x will get modified and y value will move to x. Y is what? Z. So z is what? 2. The y value will get modified and it will be 2. Suppose here z equals to 2 and I equals to 0. Next, I equals to what? I plus 1. So I value will get modified and I will be 1. Again we have to go to the step 4. So step 4, 1 is less than 7. True. We will go to step 5. Here we have to print the x value. So x value is what? 1. So again 1 will be get printed. Then what actually happens? G equals to x plus y. So x is 1, y is 2. The g value will get modified and g value will be 3. Now x will be what? Y. So 2 will move to here, this one. Y equals to z, this means 3 will move to here, 2 will get modified and y value will be 3. I equals to I plus 1. What? 2. 2 less than 7? True. Then we will go for printing the x value. X value is what? 2. Then what happens? Then g equals to x plus y. 2 plus 3, that will be 5. Then what? X equals to y. Here is 3 and here is y will be z. Then here is 5. So like this we can print the x value, that will be 3. Next again we will print the x value, that will be 5. So this x and y value will get added and the z value will be 8. So like this, we can print the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So once the n value will be 7, that means once we have printed, suppose here is the I equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next we will print 8 and next we will print 13. So after printing 13, the I value will be 7. So 7 is less than 7, that will be false, then we need to stop there. So this is the algorithm for printing the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So let's draw the flow chart for this algorithm. So for the flow chart, we have to start, and whenever we are starting our flow chart, we need to keep that start into the oval symbol. So here we need to start. Then we have to ask the user input for n. So here we are asking the user input value for n. So this is the input. So we need to put them into parallelogram. Next, after getting the nth value, we need to set the initial Fibonacci series and the control variable. So here x equals to 1, y equals to 1 and the control variable, that is equals to 1. If you will take I as 1, then we need to check the condition as I less than equals to n. That means 7 or 10 or whatever. If I value will taken as 0, then we need to check the condition I less than n. Okay. So here we are taking the I value is 1. So this is the data processing. So we need to keep these things into the rectangle. Next, after taking the x, y and y value, we need to check the condition. So for that checking condition, I am using the connector here because we cannot cover the whole flow chart into this column. So we need to go there. So here I am taking another, suppose connector, that is F. Okay. So next, start the connector here. So what is that? F. So after taking x as 1, y as 1 and I equals to 1, we need to check I value is in the range of n or not. So here is the condition is I less than equals to n. We have to put into the diamond shape or rhombus shape. Is I is less than equals to n or not? If it is yes, so we have to follow the yes path. If it is no, that means if the condition is false, then we have to follow the no path. So what will be the yes path? We have to print the x value. So for displaying the x value, we need to place this display x, that means this output statement into the parallelogram. Then after displaying the x value, we need to move the y value into x, z value into y. So before that, we have to add the x and y value to get the z value. After getting the z value, we need to move the y value into x and the z value into y. So for that, z equals to x plus y, x equals to what? Y, and y equals to z. So this is the data processing. So we need to put them into the rectangle. So x and y value will be added and that will be put into z. Y value will move to x and z value will move to y. Then after that, what we need to increment the looping variable, that is I. So I equals to I plus 1. So this is also data processing. So after incrementing the I value, we need to check the condition again. So from here, we are going back to the condition. If this condition is false, that is no, we have to follow this false path or no path, and if the control variable is out of range, then we need to stuff here. So we can put that stuff into the oval symbol. So this is the flow of execution. So you can put these arrow marks to represent the flow of the execution. So again I am repeating, here we need to check either we are printing the Fibonacci series within our range or not. The user has put the nth term, that means the user wants the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So here we are checking we are in our range or not. If we are in our range, then we need to print the Fibonacci series, the first term, then the first term and the second term will get added to find out the third term. Then we need to go ahead, that means the x will move to next term, y will move to the next term, and the g value will again calculated. So for that we are moving the y value into x so that x can move forward, z value into y so that y can move forward. So after having this we will go for counting again, that means the control variable will incremented by 1. After incrementing the control variable, we need to check again that we are in our range or not. So here we are checking either I value is in the range or not. If it is yes, then we will again go for displaying the Fibonacci series and calculating the next term. If it is false, that means I value is beyond the range, then we should follow the no path, that means false path, and we have to stop there. So this is the flow chart for printing the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So let's modify the question. Suppose the question is find out the even Fibonacci series up to nth term. So what is actually the Fibonacci series? We have the Fibonacci series like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, then 34 like this. So which are the even Fibonacci number? That is 2, 8 and 34. Those are divisible by 2. Those are the even Fibonacci numbers. So we need to print here only the even Fibonacci numbers. So what is question? The question is find out the even Fibonacci number up to nth term. So we know that how to find out the Fibonacci series up to nth term. So this is the flow chart. Extra thing added, that is we need to find out only the even Fibonacci number. So for checking either a number is even or not, we are dividing the number by 2. If the remainder is 0, then we know that that is an even number. If the remainder is 1, then we know that that is an odd number. So before printing, that means before displaying x, what is the constraint here? The constraint is we have to display only the even Fibonacci number. So x is the Fibonacci number. We are going to print the x. So before printing x, we need to check either the x value is a even number or odd number. If the x value is an even number, then we need to print the x value. If the x value is an odd number, then we have to skip. We have to skip that and we will go for the next, that is z equals to x plus I, and moving the x towards and moving the y towards. So we will go for that. So before displaying x, here we need to add another condition, that is x modulo 2 equals to 0. We need to check this condition. If I is in our range, this means if yes, then we will go for printing x. But before printing x, we need to check either x value is an even number or odd number. So here we are checking the condition for even number. X modulo 2 equals to 0. If yes, then only we will go for display x. If it is no, that means no, x is not an even number. So we will go for finding the next term. So we will go to here. We will go to here and we will move forward the x, move forward the y, and we will find the z value by adding the x and y. So the flow of control looks like this. Only we are adding an extra condition for checking either the x value is even or not. Suppose the x value is what? Suppose 1. So here 1 modulo 2 equals to 0? No. Condition is false. Then we will go to here. We are not going to print this 1 because 1 is not an even number. So we will go here. The z value will be calculated. G value will be 2. X value will be 1 and y value will be 1. Suppose here this one 8 modulo 2 equals to 0. True. Then we will go for printing the x value. So 8 will be get printed in our output screen. For 13 and 21, here again the condition will check. 13 modulo 2 equals to 0. No. Then we will go for here. We will go for calculating 21. 21 will be get checked. That will be false. Then we will go for finding the next term, that is 34. 34 will get checked. That is true. 34 is an even number. Then we will go for printing the 34. So like this you can modify your question and you can find all types of Fibonacci series. Suppose the question may arise to find out the sum of all even Fibonacci series. So instead of displaying x, we are going to add all even Fibonacci number and we will save the result into another variable, that will be sum. So once my condition will get false, rather than going to the stub, we will first print the summation value, then we will go for stub. So this is the way how you can draw the flowchart in different way for different question. You just modify your question and you just practice how to draw the flowchart for them. Have a great day. Thank you.